Today we are talking about algorithms, and an algorithm is an ordered set of instructions used to carry out a task. Now, a lot of times we think when we hear the word algorithm, we think that it's this computer program that's really complicated and nobody understands, and that's not what it is. Any set of instructions used to carry out a task is an algorithm. Just like um, the way that you go through the school day, first period, then second period, then third period, then fourth period, then lunch, then fifth period, that's an algorithm. The way you make toast, first you put it in first you plug in the toaster, then you put the bread in, then you select your level of toastiness, and then you push the lever down. That's an algorithm. There are different ways to write an algorithm. First one, the most common one, is just natural language, like English, just talking about your algorithm or writing it down. First we do this, and then we do this, and next we do this. That's an algorithm. That's a natural language algorithm. What we want to do next, after we got our algorithm talked about or written down, we want to simplify it using a flow chart. This is where we use symbols and graphics to make our algorithm simpler and easier to read. And then eventually what we want to do is we want to turn that into a code, an executable code that is run on a computer. That's our goal here, okay? Today we're going to focus on just these first two things. But eventually we want to be able to write code. And the reason that we are doing it like this is it's important to understand algorithms because that's how computers think. So if we can write an algorithm in natural language, and then we can write it in a flow chart, then when it comes time to create a code, we understand how the computer thinks, and then it's easier to write that code. Algorithmic thinking is the process of solving problems using a series of steps or using an algorithm. So the example I like to give is if Netflix isn't working, that doesn't necessarily mean your computer is broken. All right, so if you get on your laptop and you try to go to Netflix and it doesn't work, that doesn't mean you should just throw your computer away. There's a series of steps that we follow in order to solve that problem. So first, maybe we log out of Netflix and then log back in. And then maybe we check our Wi-Fi, or maybe we reset our router. Maybe we try to get it on a different computer to see if it's working. Maybe the problem is with our computer. So there's a series of steps. We don't just go, oh, Netflix isn't working, computer's trashed. We follow a series of steps. Same thing if you've ever played Wordle or solve any puzzle game, it's the same thing. We don't just guess randomly. We try something, we see what works and what doesn't, and then we try something else, right? It's not random, it's a series of steps. So what we're going to do is you need to make a morning routine flowchart. So first step is just to write down 8 things that you do in the order that you do them in. Now, I know sometimes things change. You don't always do these 8 things, or maybe you do them in a different order. But to start, just write 8 things that you do almost every day in the order that you do them in. Now let's talk about when things do change, right? So you can see here, so I got get out of bed, brush my teeth, get dressed, let my dog out, make coffee, get my stuff, get in my car, and drive to work. What about a shower? Okay, I usually shower at night, but sometimes I shower in the morning. So we need to think about not just the changes in our routine, but why do we make those changes? Okay, and that brings us to conditionals. A conditional is a command that performs different actions depending on whether a condition is true or false. So what that means is basically it's a yes or no question that changes our routine or changes our algorithm in 2 different ways. Okay, so I would say It's my yes or no question right here. Did I shower last night? And then I need two different answers. If yes, then I'm going to brush my teeth and skip the shower. If no, then I need to shower, then brush my teeth. Okay? So I have two answers, a yes answer and a no answer to my conditional question. And this is the tricky part. It's got to be a yes or no question. It can't be how many showers have I taken this week? Or, I don't know, what do I want for breakfast? That doesn't work. It's got to be a yes or no. So, do we have Pop-Tarts? If yes, eat Pop-Tarts. If no, eat waffles. Do I have practice tonight? If yes, grab my practice stuff. If no, don't grab my practice stuff. Is it raining? If yes, grab an umbrella. If no, don't grab an umbrella. Okay, so you need to add a conditional question and a yes answer and a no answer to your algorithm. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn our algorithm into a flowchart. It's just another way of writing the same thing, but instead of saying first we do this, first we do this, or first we do this, then we do this, we use different shapes to say, what everything is. The first shape is an oval. We always begin and end with an oval. Every algorithm begins with an oval. Some algorithms never end. They become loops and they just go on forever. So you don't always need an ending oval, but you always need a starting oval. It's important to note that the only things that we ever write in the oval are begin, start, end, or stop. We don't put our first action in an oval. We would never put wake up or get out of bed here. That always goes in a rectangle. All of our commands go into rectangles because they are actions, something that has to happen. Our conditionals or decisions, they go in what's called a rhombus. It's this crooked looking or sideways diamond thing here. Okay, so a diamond or a rhombus is either a yes or no question or a true or false statement. So here's where I would put, did I shower last night? Okay, shower would go in here, brush my teeth, wake up. Everything I do is an action, goes into a rectangle. The question and only the questions go into rhombuses. And then we connect them all with arrows. Notice that these are directional arrows, not a line and not a two-directional arrow. It's always one direction because the order of things matter. And so we can't go back and forth. Like if we had a two-directional arrow or just a line, it would mean that you could go back and forth, and you can't. You have to follow the arrow and go in one direction. So because a command is you do that thing and then you move on to the next thing, every command or rectangle has one arrow coming off of it. And because a rhombus is a question with two answers, it has two arrows coming off of it. Okay, so a rectangle has one arrow and only one arrow coming off of it. And a conditional or rhombus has two arrows and only two arrows. Never one, never three, always two. A yes arrow and a no arrow. And so it would look like this. Okay, so I've got two conditionals here. Okay. Notice that I begin, my oval says begin. It does not say get out of bed. It says begin. I can put start there as well. And then my first action, get out of bed, is in a rectangle. Okay. Then my question, my conditional, did I shower last night, goes in the rhombus. So shower last night. Did I shower last night? And it has two arrows, a yes arrow and a no arrow. If yes, then I skip the shower and I go straight to brush my teeth. If no, I shower first, then brush my teeth. Okay, and then I have command, and brings me to my second conditional. Is the weather nice? Notice I didn't say what's the weather like. It's got to be yes or no. So is the weather nice? If yes, then I'm going to get in my bug and drive my bug to work. If no, I'm going to get in my van and drive my van to work. Okay. And then drive to work is my last step. And then I end with an oval. Okay. Notice every command has one arrow coming out of it. You can have multiple arrows going to a step, but only one arrow coming out of it. Same thing with the conditionals. It has to be two arrows coming off of it. You can have multiple arrows going to it, but only two and only two coming off of it. Okay, we will do, right now, you need to make sure that you have your algorithm written down in the natural language, and tomorrow we'll do the flow chart. Make sure you have all these notes, and make sure you have this, your algorithm, your morning routine algorithm written down in your natural language, and then we'll do this tomorrow.